had to just pick myself back up. So for sure, don't quit. Give it like your best attitude and make it fun. Like a lot of people think that it's just like go like you're grinding, you're going hard 24/7, but
Welcome back to the North Florida Wrestling Show. We have another special profile for one of our North Florida-owned athletes that are going to be going to the Kingdom of Bahrain later this month to compete and get a little bit of cultural immersion there. Today we have on, she's not from North Florida anymore, but we still claim her, Maya Hot Sauce Alvarado, wrestling out of Lake Highland Prep. Maya, it's so good to see you again. We haven't seen you in a minute.
I know it's been forever. I miss it up there.
It's an awesome opportunity for you to wrestle for one of the best teams in the nation and represent Florida all across the country. So we're very happy about it. We're proud of you too. You're doing a great job. So I got a question. How did you get the name Hot Sauce? I see it all the time, and I never get a chance to ask at any of the tournaments. How did that name come across?
So my first ever tournament, I started, my first ever tournament was when, it was like a long time ago. It was like 5 years ago. It was like my first week ever wrestling. My dad puts me into a tournament. My first ever singlet, the hat, the shoes, the socks, it was Sriracha. But no one knew my name because I was the only girl at the time wrestling. I was the only girl. I think I was wrestling 75 pounds in the boys division. And no one knew my name. I was quiet, kind of stuck to myself. But a referee wanted to congratulate me. He wanted to say that I did amazing and all of that for my first ever tournament. He didn't know my name, but he saw the hot sauce singlet. He was like, hey, hot sauce. And I whipped my head around so fast. And from then, it just kind of stuck. In a sense, it became like my brand. That's what everyone knows
like
me as.
That you're already thinking about
me.
brand. That's very smart. That's your dad, and your dad's a very business-minded individual. So it's smart. I saw you and Kendall Stopknocker Haney were in a picture together, and I like that because I love exactly what they're doing too. I learned about y'all about the same time. That's the way you got to think if you want to make them big bucks there in the future. You advertise it. You guys are grinding hard. You might as well try to make a little extra off of it. So what was that like for you wrestling, entering it, obviously kind of getting into a new era in women's wrestling, but 5 years ago, a lot of it was still kind of getting started. What was that like for you?
For me, I kind of got used to it. Like I wrestled in my garage with my dad. I didn't have a gym for my first 2 years of wrestling. So it was just a lot of me and him wrestling. And then when we finally found a club, it was only boys. I was the only girl, which I got a lot of side looks for. Because it's like, what is this girl doing here? But wrestling up in the Panhandle where there wasn't any girls wrestling, it felt weird because I wish girls would wrestle more at the time. Like, I would literally try to get my friends to just come to practice just so then I would have another girl there. Obviously, that did not happen. But to me, it wasn't out of the norm. It kind of felt normal. I knew that I was the odd one out, and I just kind of had to deal with it in a sense.
Yeah, it takes women like yourself starting it and going through those. I don't want to say awkward, but like I said, it's nice to have that camaraderie from your own, female compatriots, I'm sure. Is that, what inspired the move from the North Florida area down to Lake Highland Prep?
I love to travel. As we all know, I'm everywhere, quite literally. And when I saw that if I went to Lake Highland, I would have more opportunities. I could travel more and be with a team that want the same goals as me. Because for a while in the Panhandle, I was kind of just by myself. And then I just wanted to find a team that wanted the same goals as me. And when I kind of saw that in Lake Highland, in a sense, I was like, that's my place. I could 100% be there with people who are exactly like me. They want to travel. They want to get good. They go to all of these big national tournaments, and they're there, and they're actually doing the work to get there. I think that's what
I can
drew me
relate
the most.
100% to that. Like, no, not on the level of Lake Highland Prep, but I used to wrestle in the Panhandle when I was, in my middle school and early high school years, and we had some decent teams, but we didn't have those. Like I said, that team with that mindset of, we're trying to win state championships, or like in your case, y'all are trying to win a national championship. That prompted me to move over to Swanee, where there was already that tradition built, where we had that coach that had been there and still had that vision to take the team again. How's the academics over there? Was that something that you were more excited for, or were you a little bit apprehensive? Because, like Lake Highland Prep does have a bit of a prestige behind it on all things.
Yeah, it was a big change for me because, like, when I was up in the Panhandle, I was an honor student. I was in high classes, but the academics are amazing. You have teachers that are like they want the best for you. They're trying to do everything in your power, everything in their power to make sure that you succeed in life. And I felt like that was a lot better for me because like I want to I want to succeed in life, and there's people there who are willing to help you through that to
Right on. Well,
help
I'm
you like
happy for you.
succeed in life.
That's always very it's always very helpful. You can do it alone, but it's always fun to like have that support system behind you. Um, so how did this Bahrain trip come about? We talking to Bear Siegel last week about how his came about. How did you end up in this great position?
So funny story is that there was I wrestled one of the girls, like the coach. I wrestled one of his kids that he was supposed to be on the Bahrain trip, but he backed out last minute, so now it's someone else. But I wrestled one of his girls, and he was the one that put in the word for me to go there. He was like, "Hey, she'll be like a great like 108 pounder. Like y'all should ask her and stuff." And I've always wanted to go international. I feel like that just kind of like seemed cool in my head. So when I got asked if I wanted to be on the Bahrain trip, I was so excited because I was like, I get to go to Bahrain, I get to meet all of these different people, and so in a sense, I was like their first pick for 108, which made me like
Well, there
really
seems
happy
to be
because
a
I was like,
lot that you're
ooh.
excited about. So, what are you most excited about? I know you're a trap, so I'll give you. What's your top three that you're most excited about?
For sure, number one is obvious. It's the wrestling. I want to see how. I want to see the difference of like countries, like how they wrestle. I want to see like their styles and what they think. Um, Number two, which is really funny, is the food. I want to try everything there. I want to eat everything there because it's
Yeah.
international food. Like, I have to. And then for sure, number three would be meeting new people, making more friends, and making those connections throughout Bahrain and all of the other
Oh man,
countries
I'm
that
so
will
excited
be
for you.
there.
All right, so let's get away from the mat a little bit and let's find out a little bit more about Hot Sauce herself. Favorite singer,
Really
favorite
know.
musical
Oh,
artist at the moment.
favorite singer right now, it would have to be like Billie Eilish. She's been like my number one pick for like top like Spotify artists. I
Is
listen
that
to her a
is that like a
lot.
warm up artist, or
Um,
is that more just personal time?
just personal time. I put her on if I'm studying or if I'm in class working. I put her in
Just
my
have the
earbuds.
Eilish going.
Uh,
I take it. All right,
mm-hmm.
what's your favorite food? You see, you described yourself as a foodie. So if you had one meal left and it's like, all right, this is it. What's that meal? What's that go-to meal?
Ramen. 100%.
Like
Oh,
I've seen you and your dad chilling out in Tokyo. Are you talking about like full on Japanese ramen?
full on Japanese ramen. I love me a good
What's it?
tantan man.
Describe that to me. What is that?
It can be either like it's a chicken or broth soup, and it has like
I know what you're talking
corn.
about.
I get like extra eggs and stuff. I get
Hey, I know
the
exactly what
pork
you're talking
belly
about.
in
Then yeah,
it.
there's a place around here that does it. Just like they put the little like Naruto's in there too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
And
pretty.
the
All right, that's a
rice.
good pick.
I think
That's
rice.
pretty good pick. What's your favorite place that you've traveled to so far?
Ooh, I've been everywhere. I would
Okinawa.
have to say
It's you in
Okinawa.
Japan, huh? Yeah, I can see you can go out to Japan. You should try to get
Okinawa.
what's it called, foreign exchange thing, and just go live in Japan for a year. They got apparently they know what they're doing. So you
I
get come back, Japanese good.
I'm trying. I actually have a sister that's moving to Japan. So when I go and see her would be when, because I'm also trying to train in Japan. So I would go see
That
her
would be cool.
and train in Japan.
All right. So
No.
favorite quote.
Ooh.
Ah, let me make it harder. Favorite movie
Let's
quote.
see.
Favorite movie quote. You don't
Movie
watch a lot of
quote. I
movies?
don't
Oh,
watch
you
a
are.
lot of. I have a I have a pair of socks that I wear to a lot of tournaments that says hotter than hot sauce, and I wear those to every single tournament that I've gone to. Like I wear them to all of the Florida Rumbles. I feel like if I had to pick a quote for
Hotter
myself,
than hot sauce.
it
I
would
love
it
it.
would be that.
Hotter than hot sauce. Maya Alvarado. That's going in. It's going into the North Florida Wrestling Show book of quotes. Page page number one. All right. So last thing that we'll end it on. What advice would you have to some girls that are just getting started or that are in that first or second year of their journey into wrestling, as someone that has been through a little bit of the grind and seen all different levels of that?
Don't quit. That's like I feel like that's my number one thing because during I believe my third year of wrestling, going on to third year, I hit a massive wall and I quite literally thought I was going to be done with wrestling because it got to a point where the practices became in a sense boring. I was so just tired of everything and it got to the point where I was slowly falling behind on school and I had to just pick myself back up. So for sure, don't quit. Give it like your best attitude, even if you have to put on like a fake smile. Try your best and make it fun. Like a lot of people think that it's just like go like you're grinding, you're going hard 24/7, but it's okay to make it more fun. Like at practice, for our warm up, we play games, and then like afterwards, we all like me and the team, we all like hang out in the wrestling gym, and we just talk and we hang out with each other as a cool down after practice. Like you have to find ways to just make it fun for yourself. Maybe after practice, you go out to eat with the team, or you go home and just like relax and something like that. Like you have to like take like even like the smallest amount of breaks to keep your body going and to keep you up and going. I feel like it's like one of the major things I would have to give for like beginners or people
That's a
who are
Maya
just trying
Alvarado
out.
quote right there. I don't know what you're talking about. Hotter than hot sauce over there. That was so well spoken, very well articulated. Well, I appreciate you hanging out with us and letting us get to know you a little bit more. Hopefully, we can have you and Bear back on after y'all's trip so you can let us know about how y'all did and some of the food that y'all tried. You got to make sure that Bear stays away from the chicken tenders. Make sure he tries a bunch of the other foods. All right. All right. I'll talk to you later.